Watch the Mega Millions drawing live tonight here on TV23. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublette, this is High Plains Today.
Yes, it is. Hi, everybody. It is a soggy Friday, October 30th, 2015. Welcome to High Plains Today on TV23. On today's show, hey, it's Football Friday, so our good friend Dr. Jack Jacob is here. So let's take a look at some of the happenings in the area. A Washington State man was injured early Thursday in a two-vehicle crash in Ford County. According to the Kansas Highway Patrol, 24-year-old Marcus Medina of Mabton, Washington, was eastbound on US 50 at about 2:30 a.m. in a 2004 pickup about 8 miles west of Dodge City. His vehicle went left of center and struck a westbound semi-truck driven by 57-year-old Rafael Arrieta of Garden City. Medina was taken to Western Plains Hospital with injuries. Arrieta was not hurt. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has awarded Kansas $1.3 million in matching funds for a program to increase the availability of ethanol-blended fuels for motorists. The Kansas Corn Growers Association said Wednesday that Kansas is one of 21 states to receive funding from the USDA to expand infrastructure. The funds will allow a coalition called the Kansas Better Blends Initiative to begin a substantial effort to help Kansas fuel retailers offer their customers choices for higher ethanol blends. The path of U.S. Representative Paul Ryan, who ascended yesterday to Speaker of the House, at one point traveled through the office of Governor Sam Brownback. Ryan, a Wisconsin Republican, worked as legislative director in the office of Representative and later Senator Sam Brownback between 1995 and 97. Ryan apparently left a good impression on Brownback, who continues to speak well of the congressman. An Olathe Air Force veteran and his wife, who are facing voter fraud charges, made a voting error while they are involved in a move to Arkansas. Now, that's according to their lawyer. Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach's office recently filed 3 voter fraud cases. Stephen Gadke, 60, and his wife Betty Gadke, 61, were charged in Johnson County with misdemeanors for allegedly casting 2010 general election ballots in Kansas and Arkansas. Kobach's office also filed a case against a Sherman County man for allegedly voting in both Kansas and Colorado. And you know what? Tomorrow being Halloween, there's a lot of stuff happening starting today leading up to the big holiday tomorrow. In Liberal, the Kiwanis Pet and Spook Parade, hopefully it won't be raining, is set for 4:15 today. Now you line up for the parade at Trail and Grant near the railroad, and the parade will march north on Kansas Avenue to 5th Street and then left to Tobias Park. Everyone who picks up a coupon at the start of the parade will get a treat bag full of goodies at Tobias Park. And in Scott City, the Pumpkin Patch will be open from 11 to 7 p.m. today and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow. Now that's at 412 South College in Scott City. The public is invited to the Pumpkin Patch with funds raised going to youth groups and church community mission projects. And Pioneer Communications, they'll be serving up free hamburgers and hot dogs tonight in Hugoton before the football game with Holcomb. Now that'll start at 5:30. Over in Greeley County, the Halloween Bash, 5 p.m. tomorrow with costume and jack-o'-lantern judging at 6 p.m. That'll be at the Greeley County 4-H building. And the Zombie Walk at noon to 3 p.m. tomorrow, the Garden City Train Depot. Dress up as a zombie, and if you want, Victorian dress is requested, but not required. Zombies will gather outside the Garden City Train Depot and lurk down the sidewalks of Main Street to Stevens Park. A costume contest will take place near the band shell. Main Street will not be closed off during this event. Funds raised for this will benefit the Windsor Hotel restoration. Pre-registration forms are available at the Finney County Preservation Alliance office on the ground floor of the Windsor Hotel. And, well, since it is Friday, it's time to draw this week's winner in our cash giveaway. Now, this week's jackpot is worth $200 since it was not claimed last week. The winner is Darla Harper from Liberal. Now, Darla, remember, you have until Sunday at 11:59 to call, that's PM, at 866-787-2446 to claim your cash prize. And that is our last giveaway for the month of October. But stick around, because coming back in December, Christmas coming up, we're going to be looking at giving away some more cash. Stick around. I'll be back with your soggy forecast after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV23 with host Chris Jewell. TV23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up with that, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
Does it look wet out there, everybody? Wet. Looking up to the northeast on the TV23 tower cam, you can see, yeah, we got lots of clouds and raindrops on the lens. If you look at the track over here at Sublette High School, yeah, there's even water standing on end. Let's take a look at her readings here at the station. Right now, temperature 40 degrees, relative humidity 87%. Winds are out of the east at 4. Barometric pressure is falling. As we look at the current temps around the region now, looking at the radar earlier, it is really busy because everywhere around here, there's rain falling. Everybody pretty much in the 40s except for Liberal seems to be the cool spot at 39. Look at Medicine Lodge. They must be living large over there, 52 degrees. Looking at our current dew points, now there's a little difference between the dew point and the current temperature. That's why your humidity is only 87%. Everybody pretty much in the 30s and 40s except for Pratt and Hayes at 28. Well, winds are pretty self-explanatory. Everybody's pretty much out of the easterly direction. There's not a lot of wind out there today. Rain pretty much coming straight down. Looking at our highs and lows as recorded at the Garden City Regional Airport yesterday. 56 was our high yesterday, 92 back in 1950. Last night's low, 33. 17 back in 1980. I'm thinking you wore a coat on that day. And so far from midnight to midnight, no measurable precipitation in the bucket, but we are looking to get about a half to 3/4 of an inch today. 100% chance of precipitation. Looking at the tower cam, I think you could figure that out. 42 is going to be our high today. Winds are going to be out of the northeast at 9. Then tonight, there still is a 70% chance of those showers hanging around 40 degrees for the low. It's going to be partly cloudy. Those clouds are going to roll out of here after midnight. We could get another 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch overnight. Then tomorrow, Halloween, look at that pumpkin. I carved that. 67 for the high. Winds are going to be out of the northwest at 11. Remember, when you're out there trick-or-treating, make sure you can be seen. 40 degrees for the low tomorrow night. Winds out of the south-southwest at 8. That's right, tomorrow. Change your clock and your smoke detector batteries. Looking at the 7-day, yep, you can see we got a 100% chance of rain for today. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to start creeping back up into the 70s. Towards midweek next week, we do have another chance of rain coming in. Lows are going to pretty much be in the 40s. That's a look at the weather. Be back with the markets after this.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Hi, Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs weekdays at noon right here on TV23. We talk about news, we talk about sports, we talk about weather, we're even going to talk entertainment. We'll have live guests right here on set with me. So, every day at noon, tune in, High Plains Today. We'll see you then.
Weekdays here on TV23.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
And welcome back. I'm now joined by my good friend, Dr. Jack Jacob. A little rain on the lens there this
see
morning.
that.
How are you today?
I'm good.
A little soggy, but otherwise okay?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right. Hey, it's football night in
is.
Southwest Kansas, Oklahoma Panhandle, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be sloppy tonight if you're playing on a grass field, I'm thinking.
It is, which is really kind of intriguing because of the number of contests that really have something up for grabs.
There
tonight.
is. Okay, because there was a bunch of playoff games last night.
Right.
In 3A, 2A, and 8-man, right?
3A and 8-man, yeah.
Oh, 3A and 8-man, sorry. Okay. All right. Because now Meade played last night, and so they are still undefeated district champs.
Yep. And they would have been
Okay. And Cimarron is the runner-up in that district. Now, we don't know who those two teams are going to play yet. Right?
Right.
Okay. But there is a big game tonight. Just a little north of here in Garden City, right?
There is.
Yeah.
The Hatchet game.
Yeah, the Hatchet game between Garden City and Dodge City. That's kind of a big deal tonight, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of implications coming out of that game.
There are. Garden City needs to win that game, obviously. Wichita Northwest needs to beat Hutch. If they do that, everything settles out. And actually, Hutch will not go to the playoffs, which is kind of shocking for recent history. But again, they have to win by a certain margin, and Hutch has to lose. Or if Hutch wins, they can't win by more than a margin. And so it's kind of a points thing.
It's one of those deals, though. If Hutch does beat Wichita Northwest by, 2 touchdowns or something like that, even if Garden City wins over Dodge City and only has 1 loss, they're out.
Right, because you go to the tiebreaker situation.
Yes.
And so then you go to points.
Okay, because Garden City's only lost, if I'm correct, is to Wichita Northwest.
Correct.
And that was last week.
Right.
So the Hatchet game really means quite a bit tonight.
It does. Well, and every game that district does. Compare that to some of the other districts. I think District 2 has a team that's going to be 2-7 and make the playoffs.
2-7.
Yeah.
All right. But next year now, and we were talking about this before we went on the air, next year in Class 5A, 6A, districts out of here.
Right. And they'll just seed the teams in the West and the teams in the East, and then they'll play each other into a playoff bracket. So week 9 will basically be the first week of the playoffs, but now every team makes it instead of just the top 2 out of every 4.
So they'll probably split the state in half. I-135, I'm guessing, like they usually do.
Well, actually, you might be a little surprised because
Really?
right now District 5 has Topeka High.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But there's 32 teams in each one of those classes.
Right.
So when they go to this next year, then 1 will play 16, 2 15, just like in a regular.
Right.
And that will be week 9. So everything leading up to week 9
Matters.
will matter now, so that you won't have, very unlikely, well, you could have a 2-7 team if they beat a number
That's
1
right.
seed.
That's right.
Or something like that.
Because, again, you look at, it depends. Like, you look at a Meade situation. Meade really played Marion this year. Other than Marion, I mean, who did they really play that was really difficult competition for them this year versus, say, a team back east that may play a Silver Lake, a Rossville, Marysville, and all of those teams.
That's somebody like, okay, so, and we were talking earlier, that happens to Scott City, right?
Right.
Because Scott City has a tough a much tougher road through the playoffs than, say, Meade does.
Right. They play Lions, which they should win. Then they should play Norton. If Norton wins, they're undefeated right now as well. From there, they would go to Wichita Collegiate, and then from there on to Silver Lake. So you're other than the first round, it's undefeated teams every step of the way.
That's okay. And Meade does not have as tough a schedule coming up through their district, correct?
No, it doesn't seem to be that way. They won't hit an undefeated team until the final or the semifinals, actually.
All right. So
They'll
and then
hit
moving on though. Ulysses now goes to Wellington tonight. So if Ulysses do they have to win tonight to clinch that district?
They win, they clinch.
Okay, that's pretty easy.
Wellington loses. And if Mulvane wins, then Mulvane is your second place team.
There you go.
Rose Hill hasn't won a game. If they would rise up and beat Mulvane,
then they're number 2.
Then Wellington would be number 2.
Oh, Wellington would be number 2. Okay, I was waiting for you to throw that ba-bam in there on me. Okay, and then there's another big game though tonight. Holcomb and Hugoton play in Hugoton tonight.
Right.
And the winner of that game is going to be the district champ, right?
Right.
And then and of course the loser will be the second. Will be the runner-up in the district. But that could mean a lot, kind of like the Meade-Scott City deal, right?
It does. It does mean a lot because it means if you're second, you go and play the champion from another district. And in this case, there's quite a bit of separation between first and second in the district they play into. So they play into District 5, and so you have quite a separation between that first place and second place. So Holcomb's had 2 good road wins. They go to Larned and Pratt and get those wins, and so if they could rise up and beat Holcomb, which again the Degalado kid from Hugoton, if he's accurate and if his receivers can hang on to it in the sloppiness, they could actually win.
It could be a slop fest tonight on some of those smaller schools that don't have the turf.
It will be
playing out there in the mud,
especially some of the teams that have to practice also on their playing field.
Yeah,
because you have some bare spots that have been worn out in practice.
Well, and plus this time of the year, the grass starts to go a little dormant. But other than that, okay. But so we get back to now another game that has no playoff implications is Liberal is going to host Arc City tonight.
Right.
Both 1-7 so far. What are you thinking there?
Well, the problem that I have with that game is that, and this won't endear me to Liberal fans, but is that the Goddard schools seem to have beat up Liberal a little bit worse than they beat up on Arc City. So really, it's kind of
on paper, you're thinking that Arc City comes to Liberal and maybe comes out with the win.
If Liberal plays their game like they can, if they would play like they played against Guyman. Then they would certainly, I think they could win that contest with no problem. But the question is, will they be able to do that?
Okay, well, we'll see what happens on that one. And then another game in the area, Stanton County goes to Elkhart, which has no playoff implications on it either.
No, it's really more of a moral victory situation for Elkhart. They want to get that win. Stanton County's really struggling. Kind of a lot like the Southwestern Heights Lakin game. Southwestern Heights put the spanky on them.
They did. So. Knock the slobber out of them, as you say.
That's right.
Jack, thanks for coming up today.
You bet.
In the wind and the rain and et cetera, et cetera. All right, and then we'll talk to you again next week so you can lay out all this playoff stuff because we'll know more then, right?
We will.
All right. And stick around. I'll be back with a little bit of sports after this.
Letting it show. I've been around.
Hi, I'm Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs at noon weekdays right here on TV23. Hey, do you think you have an idea for something that would make a great segment? Somebody that would make a great interview? What about a community event that needs highlighting? Let us know here at the station. Email us news@kdgltv.com.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
And welcome back. Hey, last night, as Jack and I were talking, there were some football games around the area. Meade beat Sublette 62-8 last night. Lakin went down to Southwestern Heights and lost last night 42-0. It was Scott City over Cimarron 48-6. South Gray lost to Spearville 62-16. It was Moscow over Rolla 66-38. And Satanta beat Deerfield 74-13. Mineola over Stafford 60-12. Tonight, Dodge City is at Garden City, Arc City at Liberal, Ulysses at Wellington, Holcomb at Hugoton. Hey, free burgers and fries at that one. And Stanton County at Elkhart. Well, Tom Brady started fast, finished strong, and looked ordinary for a chunk in between. New England Patriots still won easily. Brady threw for 356 yards and four touchdowns, 2 to Julian Edelman, and the Patriots beat the hapless Miami Dolphins. At least they were last night, 36-7. And they are still undefeated. Okay, and don't forget the World Series Game 3 tonight. The Royals take on the Mets at Citi Field in New York. Let's take a look at our weather before we get out of here today. Temperature 40 degrees. Hey, relative humidity has gone up to 90%. Winds are out of the east at 2. Barometric pressure is holding steady. As we take a quick look at our 7-day, 100% chance of rain out there today, and it's pretty much doing that right now. Going to warm up tomorrow, 67. It's going to be in the 70s. Rain sneaking in towards the weekend or the end of next week. Hey, remember, have a safe and wonderful Halloween. Call your cable operator, and don't forget, change the batteries in your smoke alarm too this weekend. Have a great weekend. See you back here on Monday.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
Are you tired of worrying about going over your cell phone data cap? Tired of surprise bills and text messages asking for more money? Stop the insanity. Switch to unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. Switching is easy. Come in today and see for yourself. For a limited time, get free activation, up to $200 per line bill credit, and save on the latest smartphones. See how much you can save with unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. See store for details.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.